Right now, Forest Lake School Board is working to update a slew of policies, including its dress code for students. In the last 2 hours, the board adding back specific language they considered removing that would ban Confederate flags, KKK symbols, and swastikas. The proposed changes bringing a lot of debate at tonight's meeting. Raya Katene is live for us with the latest. Raya?
Julie, this revision first came up a couple of weeks ago during a policy committee meeting. But tonight, in the first public reading of this proposed policy change, that language banning those specific symbols was added back in. Here's why. At a packed Forest Lake School Board meeting, one of the main topics of discussion has to do with what students can and cannot wear on school property.
There are teenagers who, if it's not specifically stated, they will show up wearing a KKK symbol.
A policy change proposed at a previous committee meeting would have eliminated specific language banning students from wearing symbols of the Confederate flag, swastika, and the KKK. School Board Chair Kurt Rebline says the intention was to give school administrators the discretion to decide what should be allowed, going beyond just the symbols currently listed in the policy to include any that could disrupt the learning environment.
Recently, just over the last 5 years, we had the Black Lives Matter symbolism. And we've had a lot of students reach out and say they have family members in law enforcement. And that was really concerning for them to see that. So to some, a symbol of unification, to others, a symbol of hate.
Rebline says the change would have aligned with state and national standards of similar policies. But Forest Lake 10th grader Kate Newble questions the previously proposed change.
If it's just in the policy, why not just keep it there? Why get rid of it? Why does it feel like we're going backwards?
At Thursday's board meeting, Superintendent Dr. Steve Massey says the revised policy will keep the language explicitly banning swastikas, Confederate flags, and KKK symbols, saying it was added after a racist incident at a district school nearly 30 years ago.
Identifying these three symbols in this policy has a history. It is important that they remain in this policy as the board deliberates updates to the policy.
As a parent of a Forest Lake student, Claire Luger says removing this specific language from the policy would cause more harm than good.
Not only do we open the door for harm to happen, but we also have to spend time going, well, how do we measure what is like a material disruption to the learning environment?
Meanwhile, Rebline says context matters, and it should be up to staff and administrators to make that decision. And again, this was just the first reading of the revisions, so no vote was taken at tonight's meeting, Julie.